Mogami was the lead ship in the four-vessel Mogami-class of heavy cruisers in the Imperial Japanese Navy. She was named after the Mogami River in Tōhoku region of Japan. The Mogami-class ships were constructed as light cruisers, with 5 6.1-INCH dual-purpose guns. They were exceptionally large for light cruisers, and the barbettes for the main battery were designed for quick refitting with twin 8-inch guns. In 1937 all 4 ships were converted to heavy cruisers in this fashion. Mogami served in numerous combat engagements in World War II until she was sunk at the Battle of Leyte Gulf in October 1944. Background and design. Built under the Maru 1 Naval Armaments Supplement Program, the Mogami-class cruisers were designed to the maximum limits allowed by the Washington Naval Treaty, using the latest technology. This resulted in the choice of the dual-purpose 15.5 cm 63rd-year type naval guns as the main battery in 5 triple turrets capable of 55 degrees elevation. These were the first Japanese cruisers with triple turrets. Secondary armament included 8 12.7 cm 40 Type 89 naval guns in 4 twin turrets, and 24 Type 93 long lance torpedoes in 4 rotating triple mounts. To save weight, electric welding was used, as was aluminum in the superstructure, and a single funnel stack. New geared impulse turbine engines, driving 4 shafts with 3-bladed propellers, gave a top speed of 35 knots, which was better than most contemporary cruiser designs, and the Mogami-class had twin balanced rudders, rather than the single rudder of previous Japanese cruiser designs. The class was designed from the start to be upgraded into heavy cruisers with the replacement of the main battery with 20 cm 53rd-year type naval guns in twin turrets. However, in initial trials in 1935, Mogami and Mikuma were plagued with technical problems due to their untested equipment, welding defects, and also proved to be top-heavy with stability problems in heavy weather. Both vessels, and their yet-to-be-completed sisters, Kumano and Suzuya, underwent a complete and very costly rebuilding program. Once rebuilt, the design, with its very high speed, armor protection, and heavy armament, was among the best in the world during World War II. Service career. Early career. Mogami was laid down on the 27th of October 1931, launched on the 14th of March 1934 and completed at Kure Naval Arsenal on the 28th of July 1935. Her first captain was Captain Tomoshi Gusamejima, formerly captain of the cruiser Kitakami, who oversaw her completion and remained captain until November 1935. He was followed by Captain Seiichi Ito, until April 1936. Mogami was commanded by Captain Shunji Isaki from November 1939 to January 1941. In mid-1941, Mogami participated in the occupation of Cochinchina, French Indochina, from its forward operating base on Hainan after Japan and Vichy French authorities reached an understanding on use of their facilities and harbors. From July 1941, at the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Mogami was assigned to cover the Japanese invasion of Malaya as part of Cruiser Division 7 under Vice Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa's 1st Southern Expeditionary Fleet, providing close support for landings of Japanese troops at Singora, Patani and Kota Baru. In December 1941, Mogami was tasked with the invasion of Sarawak, together with Mikuma, covering landings of Japanese troops at Kuching. In February 1942, Mogami was assigned to cover the landings of Japanese troops in Java, Borneo and Sumatra. On the 10th of February, Mogami and Chokai were attacked by the submarine Raven, which fired 4 torpedoes, all of which missed. The Battle of Sunda Strait. At 2,300 on the 28th of February 1942, Mikuma and Mogami, destroyers Shikanami, light cruiser Natri and destroyers Shirakumo, Murakumo, Shirayuki, Hatsuyuki and Asakaze engaged the cruisers US Houston and HMAS Perth with gunfire and torpedoes after the Allied vessels attacked Japanese transports in the Sunda Strait. Both Houston and Perth were sunk during the engagement, as was Japanese transport Raijo Maru with IJA 16th Army Commander Lieutenant General Hitoshi Imamura aboard. In March, Mogami and Cruiser Division 7 were based out of Singapore to cover Japanese landings on the Bangka Island off of Sumatra and the seizure of the Andaman Islands. Indian Ocean raids. For the 1st of April 1942, Cruiser Division 7 based from Mergui, Burma joined with Cruiser Division 4 to participate in the Indian Ocean raids against Allied shipping. Mikuma, Mogami and destroyer Amagiri detached and formed the Southern Group, which hunted for merchant shipping in the Bay of Bengal, while Chokai, destroyer Squadron 4's light cruiser Ura and destroyers Ayanami, Ugiri, Asagiri and Shiokaze covered the northern areas. During the operation, the Southern Group claimed kills on 7,726-ton British passenger ship Dardanus and 5,281-ton British steamship Gandhara and the 6,622-ton British merchant vessel Indora, en route from Calcutta to Mauritius. On the 22nd of April, Cruiser Division 7 returned to Kure, and Mogami went into dry dock for overhaul. On the 26th of May, Cruiser Division 7 arrived at Guam to provide close support for Rear Admiral Reizo Tanaka's Midway Invasion Transport Group. Battle of Midway. On the 5th of June, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, CINC of the Combined Fleet ordered Cruiser Division 7 to shell Midway Island in preparation for a Japanese landing. Cruiser Division 7 and Des-8 were 410 miles away from the island, so they made a high-speed dash at 35 knots. The sea was choppy and the destroyers lagged behind. At 2,120, the order was cancelled. However, this dash placed Cruiser Division 7 within torpedo range of the submarine Istanbul, which was spotted by Kumano, which signaled a 45 degrees simultaneous turn to starboard to avoid possible torpedoes. The emergency turn was correctly executed by the flagship and Sizulia, but the third ship in the line, Mikuma, erroneously made a 90 degrees turn. Behind her, Mogami turned 45 degrees as commanded. This resulted in a collision in which Mogami rammed Mikuma's port side, below the bridge. Mogami's bow caved in and she was badly damaged. Mikuma's port side oil tanks ruptured and she began to spill oil, but otherwise her damage was slight. Arashio and Asashio were ordered to stay behind and escort Mogami and Mikuma. At 0534, retiring Mikuma and Mogami were bombed from high altitude by USAAF Boeing B-17 Flying Fortresses from Midway, but they scored no hits. At 0805, 6 USMC Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bombers and 6 Vortex B-2U Vindicators from Midway attacked Mikuma and Mogami, but they only achieved several near misses. The following morning, the 6th of June 1942, Mikuma and Mogami Mogami were heading for Wake Island when they were attacked by 3 waves of 31 Solomon Islands Dawnless dive bombers from the aircraft carriers US Enterprise and Hornet. Mikuma was hit by at least 5 bombs and set afire. Her torpedoes ignited and the resultant explosions destroyed the ship. Arashio and Asashio were each hit by a bomb. Mogami was hit by 6 bombs. Her No. 5 turret was destroyed and 81 crewmen were killed. However, the damage control officer, Lieutenant Commander Masayushi Saruwatari, had jettisoned torpedoes and other explosives, making it easier to save the cruiser when it was hit by a bomb near the torpedo tubes. Respite in Japan. Mogami rejoined Cruiser Division 7 on the 8th of June and was repaired at Truk. On the 20th of June, Rear Admiral Shoji Nishimura assumed command of Cruiser Division 7, and Cruiser Division 7 was transferred to the 3rd Fleet. Mogami returned to Japan, and underwent a major conversion at Sasebo Naval Arsenal from the 25th of August to an aircraft cruiser to improve the fleet's reconnaissance capabilities. Her No. 4 turret and the damaged No. 5 turret were removed and her aft magazines modified to serve as gasoline tanks and munitions storage. Her aft deck was extended and fitted with a rail system to accommodate the planned stowage of 11 Ichi-16 Zutsuin reconnaissance floatplanes. The dual Type 96 25mm at-AA gun and Type 93 13mm machine guns were replaced by 10 triple-mount Type 96s and a Type 21 air search radar, as the new E-16A aircraft were not yet available. 3 older Mitsubishi F-1M2 Type 02-seat biplanes and 4 Ichi-13A1 Type 03-seat reconnaissance floatplanes were embarked. Rebuilding was completed on the 30th of April 1943, and Mogami was recommissioned into the 1st Fleet. On the 22nd of May, Mogami collided with oiler Toa-maru in Tokyo Bay and was damaged slightly. On the 8th of June, while at Hashirajima, Mogami was moored near the battleship Mutsu when the latter exploded and sank. Mogami sent boats to rescue survivors, but they found none. On the 9th of July 1943, Mogami departed Japan for Truk. With a major convoy of troops and supplies, the task force was unsuccessfully attacked by the submarine Ustinosa, and after reaching Truk, continued on to Rabaul. From August through November, Mogami made numerous sorties from its base at Truk in search of the American fleet and in response to American probing attacks into the Marshall Islands. For the 3rd of November, Cruiser Divisions 4, 7 and 8 were assigned to the Solomon Islands front, to attack American forces off Bougainville. While at anchor at Rabaul on the 5th of November, Mogami was attacked by a SBD Dauntless dive bomber from the aircraft carrier Saratoga and hit by a 500-pound bomb. She was set on fire and 19 crewmen were killed. After repairs at Truk by the repair vessel Asahi, Mogami was ordered back to Japan. While at Kure from the 22nd of December, 8 more Type 96 single-mount 25mm AA guns were installed on the aft deck, bringing the total to 38 barrels. Refit was completed by the 8th of March 1944, and Mogami returned to Singapore a week later. Battle of the Philippine Sea on the 13th of June 1944, Admiral Somu Toyoda, CINC, Combined Fleet, activated the AGO plan for the defense of the Mariana Islands. Mogami was assigned to Rear Admiral Takatsugu Jojima's Force B, with the carriers Junyo, Hiyo and Yuho and battleship Nagato, deployed behind Vice Admiral Kurita's Vanguard Force C. At 0530 on the 19th of June, Mogami launched 2 reconnaissance floatplanes. Later in the day, the Mobile Fleet's aircraft attacked Task Force 58 off Saipan, but suffered overwhelming losses in the Great Marianas Turkey shoot. At 20:30 on the 20th of June, 2 hours after she was hit by torpedoes by Grumman TBM Avengers from the aircraft carrier US Bellewood, Hayo exploded and sank. That night, Mogami retired with the remnants of the Japanese fleet to Okinawa, and from there to Hashirajima. Back in Kure on the 25th of June 1944, Mogami was refit once again. 4 triple-mountain tent single-mount Type 96 25mm AA guns were installed, bringing the total to 60 barrels, and a Type 22 surface search radar and Type 13 air search radar were fitted. On the 8th of July, Mogami departed Kure via Okinawa and Manila back for Singapore and Brunei, and was involved in fleet training and patrols in the Singapore-Brunei area through October. Battle of Leyte Gulf. In late October, the Japanese fleet assembled in Brunei in response to the threatened American invasion of the Philippines. In the morning of the 24th of October 1944, Vice Admiral Nishimura ordered the launch of Mogami's floatplane to reconnoiter Leyte Gulf. The plane reported sighting 4 battleships, 2 cruisers and about 80 transports off the landing area, and 4 destroyers and several torpedo boats near Suragawa Strait. In addition, the scout reported 12 carriers and 10 destroyers 40 miles southeast of Leyte. The Japanese task force was attacked in the Sulu Sea by 26 aircraft from the carriers US Enterprise and Franklin. Mogami was damaged slightly by strafing and rockets. Battle of the Suragawa Strait. On the 25th of October, between 0300–0330, the Japanese force was attacked by American PT boats and destroyers. Battleships Fuso and Yamashiro were hit by torpedoes and destroyers Yamagumo was sunk, and Michishio disabled, but Mogami was not hit. Fuso and Yamashiro both later sank. Between 0350–0402 2 hours on the 25th of October, after entering the Suragawa Strait, Mogami was struck by 4 8-inch shells, which destroyed both the bridge and the air defense center. Both the captain and executive officer were killed on the bridge, and the chief gunnery officer assumed command. While attempting to retire southward, the flagship of Admiral Shima Nachi collided with Mogami. Dachi's bow was damaged and she began to flood. Mogami was hauled starboard above the waterline, but fires ignited 5 torpedoes that exploded and disabled her starboard engine. Between 0530–0535, the crippled Mogami was hit again by 10 to 26-inch and 8-inch shells from the cruisers US Portland, Louisville and Denver. At 0830, Mogami's port engine broke down. At 0902, while adrift, she was attacked by 17 TBF Avenger torpedo bombers from Task Group 77.4.1 and was hit by 2 500-pound bombs. At 10:47, Mogami's crew abandoned ship, and she stayed afloat for the next 2 hours. At 12:40, the destroyer Akebono scuttled her with a single Type 93 Long Lance torpedo. She finally sank at 13:07 at 9.667 degrees north, 124.833 degrees east, 9.667, 124.833. Akebono rescued 700 survivors, but 192 crewmen perished with the ship. Mogami was removed from the Navy list on the 20th of December 1944.